This is a time to uprise. Welcome to today's show. Before I cover the content in this video, I want to make it clear, as most of you know, I'm a major supporter of the LGBTQ plus community, as all of you are. We all obviously see eye to eye on this issue. So I want to make it clear, because sometimes the algorithm can read a video that covers a really important topic like this the wrong way. And I don't want them to get the wrong idea. So of course my support goes out to these people, but these horrible bigots online are hashtagging boycott Hershey's, as in like boycott the Hershey Highway. I mean, I don't know why, but I guess because it's National Women's Day coming up, because, you know, we need more of these national holidays, these pointless national holidays. I think there's like a holiday for picking your nose. There's a holiday for your hair color, like Blue Hair Day. There's a holiday for people who wear glasses. There's a holiday for people who don't cut their toenails. I mean, there's a holiday for everything now. And it seems like every month's a specific holiday for specific people. But of course, I don't see many holidays obviously honoring our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I don't see many holidays honoring, males or white people or anything like that. Not that we need one, because all of these holidays are just to build up pride in people and make people feel like they deserve something. But Hershey's has come out for National Women's Day, and I want you to pay close attention to this video clip I'm going to play you, because people are trying to boycott Hershey's, these horrible people. But keep an eye on the background in the video. See if you notice. Take a look at Hershey's latest video. I'll play it twice for National Women's Day.
My name is Faye Johnstone. I'm the Executive Director of Wisdom to Action. We can create a world where everyone is able to live in public space as their honest and authentic selves. See the women changing how we see the future at Hershey's Canada. My name is Faye Johnstone. I'm the Executive Director of Wisdom to Action. We can create a world where everyone is able to live in public space as their honest and authentic selves. See the women changing how we see the future at Hershey's Canada.
So, if you didn't notice in the background, there was a banner right in the middle of all of them with eyeballs on it. That must be a huge coincidence, right? You know, like people constantly expose signs and symbols. Well, the eyeball, like on the back of the dollar bill, of course, the all-seeing eye of Lucifer, all its minions always use the eyeball. Why do they use the eyeball? I guess because they're all failed optometrists. They all love eyes. These ladies, excluding Faye, who is a beautiful woman, of course, they all love eyes. So they decided, hey, you know what? Let's put eyes behind everyone. Not because we're trying to say, hey, this is Luciferian, this is the Luciferian agenda. No, because these women all have beautiful eyes. Brown eyes, blue eyes, hazel eyes, you name it, right? Black goo eyes, I mean, right? So they put that back there for a reason. Now, obviously, this is causing some bigots to be hateful towards Women's Day, right? But what's ironic about all of it is that we see feminism pushed so hard in our society today, obviously because they're recruiting for the communist agenda. They've taken a lot of women and they've molded them and manipulated them. And I do have to say, I always comment on my channel about if you're a teenager, how you should, how important you are and how great it is that you've come out of the mind control programming and your awakening. But I also want to point out, because I think about it often, the women who listen to channels like mine who are awake, and people of color, black people who listen to the channel, who are awake and don't buy into this propaganda that makes them victims, are extremely strong people and extremely intelligent people. So I just want to commend the people who listen to the channel who don't buy into the feminist stuff and realize that they're being worked. And the black people too, who realize that they're being worked, that they're tricking and manipulating all sorts of people, women, black people, Asian people, Hispanic people, into this communist agenda. So the people who listen are obviously awake and aware, and they don't take the bait. They put all their faith in Jesus Christ, not in man, and they don't listen to their mind control tactics. But back to the video. We see Faye. Faye has a very inspiring quote. Because of the pictures on the chocolate bar, because that's so inspiring, and the fact that people don't see what's happening here with corporations, all these corporations being on board with this wokeness, and the fact that like 90% of the population is not in on this stuff. They just like want to get a chocolate bar if they want chocolate. They want to get a pair of shoes if they like the pair of shoes or need a new pair of sneakers, etc. But their corporations are the ones who are controlling behavior and manipulating everyone just as much as the celebrities are. But Faye, beautiful Faye, had a wonderful quote. She said, Everyone is able to live in public space as their honest, authentic selves. Of course, that doesn't relate to Christians, white Christian males specifically, because obviously we know, well, that's not acceptable. Same reason that those same people are not allowed to speak freely on the internet, right? So, of course, I mean, because obviously we see the bigotry and the hatefulness in the world, because everywhere we all go, we don't see anyone catering to trans or gay people. We always see them catering to Christian conservative people, right? Oh, I mean, let's just look at the boycott here, because everybody's in an uproar. They're like, this is ridiculous, right? The people who are manipulated about women's rights, I mean, there's already a trans day, right? There's months for this stuff. There's like half a year devoted to the LGBT. But on a day that's supposed to be for women, this is just more grooming, right? This is more, oh, let's make sure that people realize that men in women's clothing are actually women because they're identifying as women. So we'll include them. You would think that liberal women would be upset about this because they'd say, hey, it's supposed to be our day. It's about me, love me, accept me, wink, wink, right? But in reality, it's over everyone's head. And of course, this is, people who are trying to protest this and boycott this are doing it because they're saying, stop pushing agendas down our throats with every single product that there is. But this is how major brainwashing works. So social media users have called for a boycott of Hershey Highways products over its decision to include a transgender woman in its International Women's Day advertising campaign in Canada. The chocolate manufacturer brought back its She Bar for a third time on March 1st to shine a light on the women and girls who inspire us every day, right? So these are the women and girls who inspire us every day, like Faye. And I'm very inspired. I mean, aren't you all? I mean, sure, I'm inspired to put my finger in an electrical socket, but, inspiration is inspiration. So in Canada, this is being branded as Her, with bars featuring the faces of 5 women chosen to be part of the campaign. One of those chosen in the promotion is Faye Johnstone, a transgender rights activist who said they were honored to be featured. They were honored, not she, they were honored. Transgender rights is an issue that is proving deeply polarizing. In the U.S., a 2022 survey by the Pew Research Center, P-E-W, Pew, like PewDiePie, found that 38% of Americans believe society had gone too far in accepting trans people, while 36% said it had not gone far enough. I grew up with few trans role models. Many young trans folks have met a trans adult, Johnston wrote on Twitter. I hope this campaign shows trans girls they can dream big and change the world too. Hold on one second. There's a car coming up to my house. It's the paddy wagon. Newsweek has contacted Hershey's and Johnstone for comment. Johnstone's inclusion in the campaign has prompted outrage from some who accuse the company of sidelining real women. You get the feeling that these companies always despise women. They were just waiting for the right moment to stick it to us, Abigail Schreier, author of Irreversible Damage, The Transgender Craze Seducing Our Daughters, tweeted. It's a long title of a book. Here's the thing about real women. Hershey's, we have long memories. A biological man fronts the new Hershey's campaign celebrating women for International Women's Day. Oil London, an internet personality in 2022, announced plans to detransition. She wrote, this is misogyny, at its finest. A real slap in the face to actual women. However, some women have shown support for Johnstone's inclusion in the campaign's lineup. Thank you for representing us so beautifully, Sarah Daniels, an actress and Twitch streamer, told Johnstone. She is a woman. Erin Marie Hogan, no relation to Hulk, a film and TV actress, wrote, if TERFs don't like it, they're free to F off. TERFs as in, trans exclusionary radical feminists. No idea. I had no idea. I guess I'm just not intelligent enough because I don't know what a TERF is. But it's a trans exclusionary radical feminist. Definition of that? That's the definition of it. But again, these are the things that we see constantly, and people don't realize how Marxism, which really is communism, works. And this massive operation that's going on currently in the United States of America. But again, I support Faye, and I think the biggest thing to take away from it all, for me, in seeing this Hershey's highway commercial, is the eyeballs in the background, right? Because it shows you, it just wraps it all up, that who's in control and who's behind the agendas. And they're just like winking at everybody out there that gets it, because the majority of people they didn't even notice that in the video, right? They were just noticing obviously the elephant in the room. But when you see agendas pushed, you see their symbols, you see their calling card, right? We see 33s, we see eyeballs, we see checkerboards, Masonic checkerboards, black and white tile. We see it all the time. Pyramids, right? And there's always an agenda attached to it. And if there isn't an agenda attached to it, it's them taking the pyramid with the all-seeing eye and doing Illuminati commercials like we saw Taco Bell do and Pizza Hut do, right? Mocking the truth. But it's right there in plain sight. All these corporations, all working under the all-seeing eye of Lucifer, and all pushing all the Luciferian Baphomet agendas. So that's what you have right there. But of course, I'm not boycotting Hershey's. Are any of you guys boycotting Hershey's? No, because if you're going to boycott Hershey's, you might as well boycott every single company that exists on Earth, because they're all in it together, unless it's a small business owner, which I'm sure some of you are. But you might as well boycott everything. Hanes, Fruit of the Loom, Nike, Reebok. I mean, I've exposed almost every company in my lifetime, with videos showing the connections to this stuff, and they all have the same ideologies. That's why people should be suspicious. There's only a few that they sprinkle out there and they try to tell you like, oh, they're not a part of it, because they don't want you to be overly suspicious. There's like Chick-fil-A. There's always a couple companies, just like there's a few actors in Hollywood, like very minimal, that they try to roll out and be like, oh, it's a Christian. Okay, so they're not forcing anything on us. They're just being truthful, and these are all good people. And the Christian one, like now they're doing it with Mark Wahlberg, but we've seen it with like John Voight with the actors, right? And with the corporations, there's just very, very few that don't go quote unquote woke, and that's done by design. All of it's obviously done by design. So let me know what you think of Faye. And again, we want to create a world where everyone is able to live in public space by as their honest, authentic selves. Isn't that great? Does that go for us? Does that go for me and you? No, I don't think so. Only goes for the Looney Tunes, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Hope you're doing well. Hope the algo doesn't pick up on that. But couldn't resist. We'll see. I thank everyone for being here again. God bless all of you and your families.